Hello, and welcome back to this Trails into Reverie Let's Play with me, SLJ RPG. In the last episode, we made our way through the rest of the Zeroth corridor, all the way up to the midpoint, I do believe, or the depths entrance is next, but we unlocked
Rendering
ourselves
browsing interface.
a new memory through Memories Aglow. So, without further ado, let's see what it does. It seems to revolve around Reem and a shadow of Mr. Osborne. I'd say buckle up for something that's probably going to be quite emotional. 3 months after the Battle of Jormungandr's End, Major Revolt had sent me a confidential letter. He had no reason to decline the request within, and so I paid visit to Valfame Palace. Could you give us some privacy? Certainly. So, this is it. This is my dad's study. It feels a little surreal to be in here, if I'm honest. I understand why you feel that way. I had come to sort his belongings after the war's end, but to my surprise there was nothing left to sort. He was never one for displaying sentimental goods and the like, but I can only assume he disposed of what little he had beforehand. I could see that for him, yeah. But if there's nothing here, what is it you wanted to give me in the letter? It'd be best something I found in the ashes of the fireplace. This is... Oh. Judging by its state, I think it should have come from his diary. Nothing else remains of the diary itself, unfortunately, but I thought you should have this. Please, take it. Thank you, Your Majesty. This is more than enough for me. Knowing you treasured this photograph till his last days means more than words can say. Grateful that you thought of me when you found it. Then all is well. He was a lucky man to have you as his son, Reen. It was regrettably difficult for me to mourn him in public with his role in this war. But I heard you were able to carve his name into the grave he made for your mother at your old home? Yeah, I took the chance when I was nearby for a branch campus assignment. It's a quiet area of the suburbs, so I'd like it if he and my mother could rest in peace there. Gilead was a great friend to me, a proud hero who lived in service of the Empire. I shall make it my business to visit the grave myself. I'd like to visit the Lance Maiden's grave in Crossbell as well. I'm sure they would appreciate you being there. Not that I knew either of them well enough to speak on their behalf, of course. This is just as true for me, in a sense. I'd seen him as a politician, but had only caught the slightest glimpse of him as a father. Never too late to begin learning more, however, even if he is no longer with us. The Great Twilight is over. The nation's suffering has come to an end. There's no better time to gather up the pieces we missed during our time of conflict. Yes, I suppose you're right. Through Memories Aglow. Reen. The more I look at it, the more surreal it feels. I saw something similar in the spectral moon mirror, but it's hard to imagine he used to smile like this. Guess that goes to show how little I really knew about him. Hopefully I can find more little things like this, and take good care of them. Now, we're in for a busy day tomorrow, so I better get some rest. It's fucking magical. Of course it is. It's imbued with something. I have accepted the Ebonite, but it's not by its will that I have chosen to bring destruction to the Empire. This is the only way to rid that land of the curse that has plagued it for so long. To end this world, my loved ones call home will require renouncing my very humanity. Yet it is the price I am willing to pay. From this day forward, I will see myself as the being of blood with a soul of iron, guiding all to a future conflict. I write these words in my diary to show that I have chosen my path, that my will is still my own. I knew I needed pawns to achieve the future I so desired. Not long after having this realization did I happen upon a boy with a gift of precondition. His name was Lecter Arundel. What a funny twist of fate that he should be that man's son. The boy had accepted the hand fate had dealt him, both his father's crimes and that it would lead him to be silenced. Bernie is very angry about this. I'd given him a new home as one of his pawns, giving him a purpose in the form of revenge. Did I do this out of compassion, an emotion I thought I'd abandoned? Or has seeing him reminded me of the son I've turned my back on? His father's crimes came to be the whispers of the Ebon Night. There is no reason for the child to be left behind to carry the weight of such an indelible sin. I know not whether his foresight has allowed him to see the ruin I am to bring about, but regardless, he has accepted my offer with great interest. My next meeting has come soon after my promotion to Chancellor of the Imperial Government. While on state business meeting up with the four gatehouses, I happened upon a fascinating young man. His name is Rufus Albarea, and he appears intelligent as he is hollow on the inside. He thinks of me as his true father, and he believes that besting me will give him meaning to his existence. It feels almost cruel to find myself being called someone's father again, but meeting someone who seeks to do more than I ever could has been a fine boon indeed. May he show me humanity's potential. May he prove we are not powerless in the face of the curse, nor are we simple pieces on a game board. I know calling himself an Ironblood, a son of mine, will not be enough to satisfy him. Perhaps once he finds the answers he seeks, he will be fit to lead in times to come. Two years have passed since my appointment to Chancellor. Rufus and Lecter have served me well, and the word of the Ironbloods has begun to spread. What has dampened this just so is the passing of an old friend from Thor's. The circumstances surrounding his death are highly suspicious, enough for me to suspect that the Ebon Knight was to blame. It was when I went to handle this matter personally that I happened to meet his daughter, Claire Reverie. In a clear manifestation of the Ebon Knight's dreaded hand toying with Erebonian lives, the tragedy had awakened a peculiar gift in her, the kind of enhanced cognition. I chose to leave the matter of her father's death in her hands. Though it pained her greatly to do so, she has demonstrated the resolve to stand against destiny. Thinking this meeting is also to be fate, I have invited her to join the Ironbloods as well. That she would discover on this road to ruin, I do not know, but on behalf of my friend, I intend to bear witness as she finds it. I visited Jurai, and after negotiating with its mayor, it was agreed that it would be taken as a province of Erebonia's. And around that time, who should show as if she had been waiting for this moment all along but my dear friend. I heard she called herself the Steel Maiden after accepting a position in the society. But when talking to her, she was the same as I'd remembered. She still thought to express a concern for my well-being. With Jurai now under Imperial rule, the seeds of the curse have begun to blossom. The stage will soon be set for the rivalries. When I told her this, she left without saying much more. She deserves so much for what she has endured. I wish I could have let her know, but perhaps she too would prefer to appear strong. A fourth member has joined the Ironbloods. Her name is Milliam Orion, a new mortal homunculus, with the nearly last in her line serial number, OZ73. As pure as innocent a being as I have ever seen, she was quick to gain a sense of self, developing in a blink of an eye. Milliam has been able to give the other Ironbloods what I cannot. The more time they spend with her, the more I see Clara and Lecter's expressions soften. I can only hope that through her, they have regained a small portion of what the Ebon Knight took away. What a sinful manner of forging a sword, and what a fitting manner with the end it's destined to bring. I have long accepted that I will bear any sin for my goal, knowing full well my fate will be accompanying Ishmelga to Gehenna's depths. Prince Olivet's role in ending the crisis in Liberel was reported far and wide, when he soon after returned to the Empire like a hero aboard the Kingdom's Arcel. It was almost impossible to escape the story. I visited Liberel to offer my own greeting before his departure, but by doing so he reminded me once more that he is a man of endless surprises. It was as if the lion slumbering within the Empire had awakened and taken his form. As I execute my plan to fill the world with conflict, he seeks to find a third way. His efforts are nothing but a hindrance in bringing about the Great Twilight, but I cannot help but feel excited by his declaration. If he's going to challenge me, then he had best put up a worthy fight. The conflict he seeks to stop now will be great enough to engulf even Crossbell. I look forward to seeing how he intends to counter it. I received word that students from the Thor's Military Academy would be coming to the capital on a field study, and among their class 7 was a familiar face. I had been given updates on his growth from Theo and Claire, but it was the first time I had seen him as a young man. I could see right away that he'd become just like his mother, a kind soul who valued the well-being of others over himself. He's a picture of health now, and for that I am so grateful. I regret to write, however, that the curse has had a clear influence on him, aiding to his eternal strife. I knew it was bound to happen. He has the heart of one closely linked to the curse. I dare not think of Cassia's face when she watches us from heaven, or the pain she must feel, seeing the cruel fate I have thrust upon our child. Does she know that if he cannot control himself now, then he has no chance of surviving the days that are yet to come? It won't be long before the Great Twilight is upon us, and all I can do is as his mother does. Watch and see how he fares. Sad. October 30th. The newly independent Crossbell destroyed our Aurelia fortress. As foretold in the Black Records, this led to Erebonia declaring war on Crossbell. There is one development, however, that I did not foresee. Crow Armburst, the grandson of Jirai's Mimea. He was but an ordinary boy on the surface, belying the searing vehemence beneath his skin that gave him the strength to match even me. Though everything has been proceeding as planned, he has allowed me to see the heights of humanity's potential for the first time in a long while. At the same time as this developed, another came to be as I feared it would. Reen Swarza has accepted becoming an awakener for Valimar. The Ebon Knight's power grows even greater as the civil war rages on. The Ashen Knight may be capable, but without sufficient resolve, it will fall against the Ebon Knight with ease. As the one who thrust this upon you, I doubt you would ever want to hear this from me. But only you can change your course. I dearly pray that you find the will to fight against your fate, son. July 18th. The growl of Erebos is made manifest. Prince Olivert has broken through all attempts to obstruct him, reaching the scene. All for naught. He has met a tragic end. Human's life is but dust to be scattered by the winds of fate. Be you commoner or nobility, hero or villain. Even he was no exception to the rule and fell like any other. His loss is a deeply tragic one, for I thought him uniquely capable of rebuilding the Empire after the Great Twilight's end. The wings of the hero have been broken, and it is in the despair that followed, the sword of the end was swung at last. With millions' grievous demise, the final restraint chaining Reen has been unbound. He has been consumed by the curse, becoming the sacrifice decreed by fate so long ago. I nearly thought he would succeed in suppressing its hold on him with how long he fended it off. It may be for the best that he will live through this miserable period as a mindless ogre. By the time he returns to his senses, the Ebonite and I will no longer be of this world. I would ask that he be able to rest until the rivalries have reached their climax. September 1st. Operation Jormungandr and the final rivalry is now upon us. Though he fell into the fiery depths of despair, Reen rose from the ashes, and has since fought valiantly for my defeat. The curse power is at its peak, and still he prevailed. I can hardly believe how much he has grown. His friends may have played a part in this, but that alone does not explain it. What has elevated him to heights beyond the prophetic imaginings? I wish I knew, as much as I wish I could have learned it by watching over him as a father. Anime sounds. This isn't like me at all. I shouldn't be losing myself at such a critical point. Should he somehow defeat me, my son will be forced to bear the full weight of the curse's power. Yet if he has the strength to oppose me, then I will take it as my first and final paternal duty to see him wrested from my grasp. To hope for miracles in this world is a fool's errand. Still, Goddess, are you so merciful as to lend your ears to one such as me? If so, I pray, please shine your light on Reen. I didn't get to read all that because when I came up and went away so quickly. That's kind of beautiful, you know. Now, did he dream all of that?
Huh? That felt too real to be a dream. I could be wrong, but I think I'll trust my gut on this one. He was always prioritizing the happiness of others, while shouldering burdens one should never have to bear alone. Like father, like son, huh?
Very much so.
I wish I could have done more for him. Right. I still can. My father gave me life, and my friends gave me a reason to live that life. Simply living well is the best way I can repay him and my mother. That doesn't absolve the bad, but...
Morning, Kurt. The weather's beautiful today, huh? I'm so bad at waking up early.
Good morning, Yuna. Altina. And what a coincidence. Muse and Ash are coming out at the same time.
A new day, a new diet to keep myself cute for the instructor. I binged on way too much sugar last night.
Thought I could sneak out before you guys.
No skipping out for you, Grumpy Gus. Now let's get to running.
Leading the next generation.
Time to start the day.
What I did see is an interesting thing about the Ironbloods. If you look at the Ironbloods compared to the new Class 7, there's like striking resemblances between all of them. Which is I think very interesting. Anyway. That might be the best daydream we've had, you know. Oh, very cute. Music also slapped. Well, shit. Is all I'm going to say to that one. We'll take the master missions. We got ourselves a new orb, but I'm going to let that be as it is by itself. Tomorrow we'll probably do the rest of the trials. Namely, I'm going to do them right now, but you'll see it tomorrow. Peace and love.